All right, so this is a Psychotic Strength podcast. This is Tyler Townsend.
Martine.
Chris Erickson.
All right, we got Chris in the house today. So, again, this is Chris Erickson. We're going to be interviewing him. Entrepreneur, videographer, photographer, geek.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just say that because that's what it says
It's
on Instagram.
Easiest way to describe
you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right, man. I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, we go way back, man.
Yeah, it's been a
Freshman year, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into how we met here in a minute. So, gym update. I got a vasectomy last Friday, so no gym for Tyler.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not bad. 20 minutes in and out. I told him it was like $360 before insurance, $70 after. Definitely worth it. It doesn't feel great.
I can imagine.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but
I see people grabbing the ice packs and walking all.
I didn't do any ice.
No, nothing.
No ice. I did some ibuprofen the first 2 days, but after that, I'm all right. I took some today because I did a little more moving than I should have yesterday. But as long as I keep it kind of just normal-ish, no picking. I'm really not trying to pick anything up, but I picked all this shit up today, so we'll see how tomorrow goes.
We're ripping.
Yeah, just pop a test. Okay, so with that, they're literally just 2 little incisions. It's literally like just a slice on each one. Barely a slice, like maybe this big. Like I want to say like half an inch maybe. Quarter of an inch even. Cauterized my testicles. Mm-hmm. And then moved on. They're purple as fuck.
No snipping.
No snippies. No, it was cauterized. Yeah. And so unlike what Brandon had said, Brandon was all up in the stirrups. Like the gyno exams, right? But that's not how I did it. And they literally laid me on my back. Oh my goodness, this guy is killing me. He can't use the link. But laid me on my back, legs straight out flat in front of me, pulled it up, circled it up, and got her done. 20 minutes. I mean, the worst part was they numb you, right?
So
Big old needles.
Yeah.
And then it just felt like tugging, but from the inside of my stomach.
Wow.
Ugh. It didn't feel great.
Wow.
I told him, I'm like, I feel like I should be shaking right now. He's like, your body probably thinks you should be. And I'm like, yeah, well.
You were conscious the whole time.
Oh, yeah. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm in there, I walk out, and you definitely feel like you should take a quarter of a step at a time. And I'm like, is this normal, or should I actually be stepping normal? She's like, you step how your body tells you to, and listen to your body. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
It was nuts.
Cool.
Literally.
I'm excited.
No more little Tylers running around.
No, dude, I'm done. I got a 14 and a 10-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
14.
Yeah, 14. My son was born 2 months after I turned 18.
Yeah, no, I remember. He came up to me, hey, I'm going to be a dad. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was
it's
crazy.
senior year.
Senior year.
Senior year.
Yep. Yeah. Where did I see you at?
When?
When I told you that.
I have no idea, but I remember you coming up to me because we hadn't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah.
I think it was at Bay
Really?
for something. You came up and said, hey.
Joey's graduation.
I don't think I was there.
No? I was there actually with the baby.
And graduation.
Joey's graduation. I didn't graduate.
Maybe it was at graduation.
I had a baby at that time.
I think it was at
You
graduation.
graduated at the same time Joey did.
Yeah. At his,
So I'd had a
oh,
baby.
I thought you meant like at his party.
Oh, no.
No, at graduation
it was
day.
like my
Might have
18th or something like that.
been. I don't know.
We had a huge fucking party for my 18th birthday party. It was at Joey's too. Maybe I saw you there. I don't know.
I was him a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, he's down in Arizona, I believe.
Isn't he a model now?
I don't fucking know. I don't care. We don't talk. It's been over a year. We got a bit of an argument. More of a Joey being a prick and me being like, you know what? Fuck you. Finally. So
Gotcha.
there's a whole lot of that going on. But anyways, gym update. How did you do?
Well, I started going last week because I was super sick for 2-3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, this week I started going again, Monday, and then I'm doing cardio push, and then cardio pull, and then cardio legs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing. That's how I'm doing my schedule. So, but it's been good. I've been doing more of the Seth Rossi workouts, bodybuilding workouts, just to get back into the feel of it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to be comfortable and consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would go for like 2-3 weeks good, and then something would happen. Boom.
Yeah.
I would just fall off again.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna, when I get back to going again, I think I'm gonna go at like 10 a.m. And put in my headphones before I even walk in. You know me, social butterfly. I'll talk to anybody. So it's like, it's a little rough.
The first hour is just, hey.
First hour, fuck it. I'll get to something, but I won't move. I'll stand right there, and everybody just keeps coming up and talking to me, and I'm like, fuck. But how about you? What do you do for the gym?
Yeah, I should probably go to a gym.
Yeah.
Sit around too much. I guess my gym these days is just getting my studio built.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of working out that way. But that's it. No gym for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your studio in your house, or is it you actually got a studio?
No, I have a studio space.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's it was in my house, but now it's in Woodland.
Nice. My buddy is Brandon. He's actually usually a part of the podcast. He's kind of taking a break at the moment, but he just opened up Crooked Arrow in downtown Woodland. It's an archery shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you should go take a peek, man. It's got some cool shit in there. Right now, he's just got the workbench. You know what I mean? So he can work on bows and shit like that, but he doesn't have a lot of equipment. Inventory right now is nuts. I guess he's like at like a 3-month wait or some
remember you
shit.
saying that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But you got okay. Here's how I want to hit you.
Hit me.
Hit
me good.
Not in a physical manner.
Well.
I like you a lot. First, let's talk about how we met.
All right.
You want to go for
We've
it?
kind of teased it already, I guess.
Yeah, go for it. How did we meet?
It was high school, freshman year football?
Freshman year. It wasn't even freshman year yet. It's
it was summer.
summer
right
football
before
camp.
summer,
Yeah.
Summer football camp.
Yeah. Freshman football.
13, 14 years old.
14.
Yeah, it would have been 14, yeah.
Okay, I'll do it then.
Oh,
so,
okay, well.
So what happened is I'm standing here with the lineman coach.
Oh, God.
Zook.
Okay, that's where you're going.
Right?
Zucanic.
Oh, man.
I got something good for you.
You know he lives like 2 blocks up
No
the
way.
way? Yeah, I saw him like all the time just driving around, and I finally figured out he lives like 2 blocks north of here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I saw him once at Comic-Con.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to
Yeah,
that.
okay, get to that
Don't forget that shit. But we're over there. We're linemen, right? I'm a bigger guy. I actually wasn't that big at that time. It was probably the skinniest I'd been. But
I wasn't even that
been
big
fat
either.
Forever.
We just
You
had
weren't either.
there was only like 10 of us there anyway. Like we barely had enough for
Anything.
a team.
Yeah. But this kid comes up to us. We're standing there with the coaches, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where the football
That's not how it went.
where football is?" And
Not
like,
how- that's not
And you're
how
holding a
it
football.
we all have football. we
That's not
got
how it went.
stuff going
went.
on.
Okay, I'll tell the story.
You tell the story then.
All right, here's what happened. It was 8th grade. I was going to Geyser Middle School,
Right.
And they had recruited people there to come to this summer program.
Okay.
They started the summer workout program at the high schools like a week or two before like the school year was over for middle school. But they offered shuttle like bus to the high school from your middle school. I was the only one that went. So I was on this bus driving to Bay. I've been to Hudson's Bay before. My brother went there. He graduated. So I kind of knew my way around a little bit. And there was no one around in sight. Not outside, nowhere. And I was knocking on some doors. Every single door was locked. And the last door I knocked on was the locker room door. And when I was knocking above, on the top part of the locker room, where the gym was, a guy walks out and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm here for the football stuff." He's like, "Okay, we're up here. Come on up." So we went in. We got in line. Or I got in line because they're doing like, what were those called? Like baselines for stats. I don't know, what were they, like exercises or something. They were like seeing how fast you were, like basically to place you what position they're going to stick you in, pretty much. And I went up there and it was Myers. And I can't remember what is his first name. I guess it's irrelevant. But I was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Chris Erickson." And that guy, Zucanic, he was like, No, that's baby parking lot boy. I found him wandering the parking lot because he didn't, he didn't know. I just found him wandering. I brought him in because he wanted to play football, and I like thought nothing of that. But then, of course, that name stuck forever until
He was parking lot.
No. I was baby parking lot boy.
Oh my god!
Until the first game we played, and we won. The only game, by the way. Only game we won.
Yeah, we sucked.
And then he came up to me and was like, "You're no longer baby parking lot boy. You've been upgraded to just parking lot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grew up.
That's the story.
That's what I called him. He
And
called
not
him
just you.
Townsend.
Every single
Everybody.
person until graduation. And then I thought it would die, but then I'd still run into people over the years, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's parking lot."
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a cool name, though. Parking lot.
I saw. Remember Dylan Crocker?
Yes,
I saw
him too.
I saw him. I was at a party like 2 weeks ago for Jessica Corville. I don't remember her. friend of mine, and a friend of ours in middle school, she ended up going to Skyview, but she was kind of newer. She threw a birthday party, and so I went, and Dylan invited me. I hadn't seen either one of them since freshman year at Matt Swift's birthday party.
Oh shit, Matt Swift, yeah.
Was it Matt Swift's? I think it was Matt Swift's birthday.
They were all pretty close.
No, yeah, all three of them, and then Dylan had to leave because of Matt. I don't know the full story there, but they got into a fight. They got into a fight freshman year, like a pretty bad one, like really bad.
I remember they fought.
Yeah, and then I think Dylan did something, and at the last, like they were doing stuff to each other. It just happened to be like Dylan was the last one, and then like there was like principals got involved. Like, hey, you're expelled. You have to leave.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't know the full story, but
I saw him at a bar at the Spot or whatever. They're out 4th Lane.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time I saw him since freshman year. That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, something like that.
2 weeks ago, damn.
Dude, it's been crazy. People have been calling me up out of the woodwork a little bit. Like you honestly. And then I had Dylan, Jessica, and a couple other people that I haven't talked to in like 10, 15, 12, I don't even know, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people are like, hey, what's going on, man? I'm like, jeez, dude.
Jeez, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's the story, I guess, of how we got introduced.
Right. And we were linemen.
Yeah, we were both O-linemen.
He's an O-lineman.
I was I mistakenly made the decision of randomly snapping a football for fun. And they're like, hey, you can snap a ball.
Yeah.
And so I was the center. I was the center. Because I was the only one that could snap a ball accurately, for Anders Anders Manley to he was a quarterback, but I wanted to be like a fullback, but
that didn't happen. Yeah.
Well, I got an opportunity.
Really? When?
Well, Woody. Remember Woody? That guy. But he told me because I kept telling him I was like nagging him about it. Like I think it was junior year, and he's like, "All right, fine. If you want to be a fullback, you got to show me you can do this." So he stopped practice, right? And he brought every freshman from the other side of the freaking, how where we practice?
Yeah.
He brought all them over. JV, everybody, got all of us in this giant, like, Royal Rumble circle. He's like, okay, parking lot wants to be a fullback. So this is his chance to prove to me that he can do this. So you have 10 yards, 4 downs to make this, touchdown or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, so he gives me a freshman for my center, and he grabs like some JV for the quarterback, and then like one freshman O-line, and then one JV another guard. So there's a 3, and then he sticks freaking not Tulu. It was Isaiah Vircher, Anthony Martinez. Remember?
Great, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then like. Just the varsity big ass motherfucking dudes, right?
Yeah. And
basically to stack the cards against me, like there's no way. And on the 3rd down, I hadn't moved an inch.
Yeah.
And 4th down, I took out. I was still proud of. I don't know how I survived it, but I took out Martinez, laid him out. Like he came at me hard. And that motherfucker, dude, he was scary.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah, he's not tall guy.
He was scary. Like I thought he'd like pull a knife during games and start stabbing people. Scary type of thing. But I leveled him and made the 10 yards. Everyone was cheering. It was great. And then Woody just disappears and was like, everyone back to practice. And that was the end of it. He didn't even honor the deal.
What a dick.
Yeah.
I didn't like him very much.
Yeah, he kind of got weird by junior year. It was really weird.
Yeah, I heard some stuff, but we'll stay away from all that. Anyways, so yeah, you did that, right? High school, captain parking lot. You were parking lot.
I was parking lot.
Right, and then eBay.
eBay.
Right?
Lots of eBay.
Let's get your business.
My business
standpoint going. Like, how did this start? Hit that.
Wow. So. My mom my dad is he's retired now, but he was a plumber. He was a commercial plumber, journeyman, worked on like high rises and stadiums and hospitals and made great money. And then he worked for like 5 months. He's a union, right? And so then he would get laid off and wait for the call for the next job. And that's just the cycle of his life. And they're like, you're going to do that. You're going to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. But in the meantime, my mom would pick up the slack when he's laid off. So she was like going to garage sales and thrift stores, buying stuff, selling it on eBay to fill in the gaps when he didn't get his unemployment checks. Because if it ran out, because there was times when he didn't work for like 2 years.
Damn.
Especially after 9/11. But yeah, there's sometimes his job just dried up. And so I was helping my mom through that stuff, just going and thrifting and garage sailing and just doing that side hustle, they call it. And then when I moved out of the parents' house, got a job, I was a chemist. Whoa. Actually, I was working in a fuel, doing R&D on biodiesel and all the other alternative fuels. Yeah, it was a really cool job. But while I was doing that, I was still kind of getting into the resale thing. This is a hobby for extra cash.
Yeah.
And then that job, they got investigated for fraud, and I got fired. It was on the news. I still have the news reporting on it. It's pretty good. The Como News investigators. I make a quick appearance a couple times here and there. Anyway, side tangent. But I digress. So I was just kind of bouncing from job to job, but I was still buying and selling, right? And then I found this store that was offering franchise opportunities. It was called Bricks and Minifigs. And I'm like, that's pretty cool, because I was really kind of getting into selling Lego. Like I would find it and I'd sell it for like really quickly for a lot of money. I'm like, I think I'll focus on this stuff instead of this other just junky whatever it is. And so I went in there to try and learn about the franchise, but man, it was like, the dude was kind of like a little wacky a little bit. So I'm like, no, I don't think I'll do that. So I would go there and still shop for parts to fill in pieces for Lego sets that I found that were incomplete, and then to flip them. The first ever Lego set I ever bought was from this like 15-year-old kid that was getting out of Lego to get into video gaming, and I think I bought it for like $10, sold it for like $60-$70, and he had all these other ones. So I went and bought the rest of his collection and spent the last $90 I had in my I was no job, no money. That's all I had. I was like, I'm going all in, and so I spent all of it, and ended up making like $4,000-$5,000 off of everything. Wow. Yeah, so that really sparked like Lego, right? So going back to the Bricks and Minifigs, I was going in there for parts, and there was this girl that was working there. She was really cool. We kind of became friends, and there's this other guy that worked there. I was like really, getting to know them pretty good. Then the girl, she told me, she's like, hey, I'm actually going to be moving. No one knows this yet, but I'm going to be quitting probably next week. I can put a word in for you if you're interested. And I'm like, yes, because I wanted to learn how the business works from within. Right. And so once I did, the owner of the franchise was latching on to me really quickly, because I did end up getting hired there. He latched on to me really quickly and was like grooming me to try and take over the business, but the numbers were just never going to add up, because I also wanted to sell other things than Legos, other toys and stuff, and had to do strictly Lego. He owned at this time like 5 others. No, back up. He owned that one, but he owned the entire franchise, and there was like 5 or 6 stores at the time that he was profiting off of. But I got fired from there about a year later, and I got hired to another market, and or another market by another store, and then I got fired from there too. And at that point, I had enough inventory, enough product of my own. I said, screw it, and I tend to go all in when I do stuff, and I just opened my own store. But
it wasn't related to
the franchise. It was not related to his at all. I took what I learned there, all the business side, because he was always telling me about stuff, business stuff, and I was just taking notes, mental notes and whatnot, because I know, like, one day I'll do it. But getting fired from there because I got food poisoning, we missed a couple days of work, and he fired me for it, and then it was on the news and everything. And then the other place, the other Bricks Minifigs, there was a Lego set that went missing, and they assumed I stole it, which I did not. I have receipts because I happened to own one. When I got hired on both places, I fully disclosed that I bought and sold. Gave them like my my eBay list page. And if there's ever any doubt of questions, just let me know. I can clear it up. So a set went missing, and they're like, "You have one for sale. You stole it." Like, well, if you look at the date it was listed and the date you're telling me that it was stolen, those numbers don't add up. Plus, here's my receipts saying that I own it and where I got it from. And like, no, you're fired. I'm like, okay, peace out. I'm opening my own store. Right. And so I did, just literally almost overnight. Just went, like, I had enough product stuff. I just got on Craigslist, I think at the time. Maybe it was Craigslist. And found a cheap place in Hazeldale. I was like, here it is. I don't know if you ever went to it. You went to my second one. No, that was my second
one. Okay.
My second location. It was in the same complex though, but it was like not much bigger than your garage. I mean, it was a little bit longer, maybe, but not much more. And just overnight, boom, had business, and it was almost a success overnight as well. Like as I was getting it built, people were finding me, just walking by, and they're like, "What is this?" I got a bunch of stuff, and they kept bringing me stuff as I'm setting up. It was crazy, and so overnight it was a great success. And then I ran that for about 5 years and sold it. Yeah.
Yeah, you and another dude, right?
So I brought on well, if you want to call him a partner, he was never a real partner. Okay. No financial partner. He had no, what's that word?
Background or experience.
No, he had experience. Okay. That's why I wanted him.
He had no skin in the game.
He had no skin in the game. He could literally just dip out like in any moment's notice. He would be gone and with no ties, no responsibility. Right. He had the opportunity. I gave him the opportunity to not buy into it, but just literally sign for it. No money in, but he is now tied to the store. And he's like, no, let's just see how it goes. I'm like, that doesn't work that way. Right. So I told him up front, like, okay, I'm going to be doing this. Like, it's my business. I'll let you work in the store. And he was living with me for free, by the way, at this time. And I told him all he needs is a body in the store, and you can even just sell your stuff as well, in the store. I'll get 15% of that. No, 18% of that which was just covering taxes and fees. Right. And then you can sell whatever you want on eBay. It's all yours. Just be a body in the store. And that was still too much for him. So. Wow. That's a whole long story, but that only lasted about 6 months, I think, before he was gone. He kind of went nuts and disappeared. But
that sucks.
Yeah, so I was doing that basically by myself after that until I sold it in 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, it was 2018.
Mm-hmm. It was those two locations.
It was just one location. I had expanded it into a larger spot. But the reason I sold it was because I was having a lot more fun interacting with people and doing my wacky commercials and stuff, all like the media side of it. And I get people coming up off the streets, just like, "Yo, Chris, I saw your video. Have you having a sale this weekend? I'm gonna be there. I'm not even into this stuff, but like your commercial was funny. I wanted to come and say hi." But literally people in like Fred Meyer or stores like yelling my name, like, "What? Where? What is going on?" They're like, "I saw your video," and so I started doing a lot more of the media side of it, and which is always my more passion anyway. Like I did it in high school and stuff with Mr. Howard and whatnot and stuff. That was always what I wanted to do. I had a scholarship to go to Mount Hood for film.
Oh yeah.
Howard's the one that put it through. I told him no because my parents wouldn't let me, and they wouldn't. But I did get accepted for academic. But that was parents still need to have forked out like room and board and stuff. But they're like, no, what are you gonna do with a film degree? This is 2008, the peak, the birth,
right.
The birth of like YouTube and all this stuff. And I knew where that was going, and people thought I was crazy. I told them like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna make videos for the internet. And this is where it's going. Everyone was like, "You're insane. You're stupid." Mr. Howard even was like, "Well, that seems kind of ridiculous," because YouTube had only been around for a couple of years at that point, and there was a few people I was following that were making like legitimate like movies and short films and stuff that were like better than like Sci-Fi Channel was putting out, And I'm like, they're onto something here, and I wanted to be that, but it didn't make it there, but. So I implemented a lot of that into my toy store with commercials and product, whatever. I would do reviews on stuff that would come in. I started a documentary series where I go to people's houses and I'll look at their stuff. It was like sponsored by my store. That was pretty successful. So successful that the idea is being stolen by Wired magazine for a TV show.
Oh, geez.
And they contacted me to
really?
potentially be a part of it.
Oh, okay.
Still in the works. They won't tell me what network that's been hired to produce this pilot. But they're taking two aspects of the things I have done separately and putting them together as one.
That's cool.
Yeah. They did so much research on me. I don't know how they knew all this stuff. They knew about my store. They knew about my current YouTube stuff endeavors, my current business. my documentary that I did, and then also the other web series that I did on toys and stuff too. So I was like, how do you know all this stuff?
Because as soon as you sold your store, you fucking disappeared. Right? Weren't you traveling all over the fucking place?
Yeah, I was definitely on the road a lot right after I sold the store. Well, I was looking for any opportunity just to get out.
Yeah.
I went through a divorce in 2017.
Yeah.
From that crazy
yeah.
freaking lady.
Never
you know
liked
her.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But so after that, like my world just opened up, and I was like, I could do this, and this, and then I sold the store, and then I got some opportunities with this other guy that's no longer around. Unfortunately, he's fucking psycho. There's a lawsuit going on, not with me, but I mean I've been dragged into it a little bit.
Ouch.
But that's maybe a story for another time. But but at that particular time, it was me, him, and his girlfriend, or then girlfriend's last.
I think I remember that.
And it was the three of us doing all sort. We're traveling, doing lots of really cool stuff, and trying different like business type avenues. I don't necessarily think it went anywhere. I mean, I'm still with her.
You're with her?
Well, not with her in that sense,
okay.
but I'm working with her.
You just jack moved him. I was like, yeah.
No. He, but no, I'm still working with her and doing a bunch of stuff. And then I came up with a business idea, roughly, about end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I was like building it out over the year. I had this cool beta program set up. Had ridiculous amount of clients. I couldn't honestly fathom. That's not a brag. It was actually stressful. I had so many people that were wanting in on what I was doing, and then I was like, okay, I got it. I'm launching. I'm launching in 2020, and then January came. I'm like, I'm filming a document. I was going to hit the road for a documentary, and then launch the business March of 2020. Well, a little thing happened in 2020 March. Everything went under lockdown, all that stuff. Lost every client. Most of the clients are not even in business anymore. Sadly, they lost their business. But the concept of the business was to be like a pocket. You've heard like pocket attorneys, pocket lawyers, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that, but for a content creator for the business. So you tell me what your needs are, and we lay it all out. That's what you get, and then that's just this price on retainer every single month. No increases, whatever. And I'll handle.
And then you're constantly like updating their shit and doing all that other stuff. Okay.
So I shoot, edit.
Smart.
We brainstorm together. You can call me up and be like, I have a nugget of this. What can we do? Like, blah, 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 whatever it might be. We work it out together, and then we execute it, and then I handle the back end of whatever it is. Let's say they're YouTube focused. I'll upload the video for them, create a thumbnail, do all the keyword research, find the right stuff for all that sort of thing, all of it. They never have to touch it. They just focus on their own business and on their merry way. And it was going really well, of course, and then COVID hit. So I had to really get scrappy over the last couple of years, figuring out do I have to just go start flipping burgers somewhere?
Right.
Because the messed up thing is, my friends that work at like a bar or Starbucks or whatever, right? They were rolling in cash during COVID because they got unemployment plus a $600 boost, plus they were getting stimulus check. I had a friend that was making like $7,000 a month for like 6 months during COVID.
Jeez.
And he makes minimum wage, right? Now, looking at what happened to me during COVID was, I sold my store in 2018, right? 2019, I mean, I didn't really work too much. It was just trying to build my own stuff, right? Living off of what I sold my business for, and figure out what my next, where that majority of the money would be going to next. Well, when 2020 hit, they were pulling your records for unemployment from 2019. Well, I didn't have anything. And I haven't worked for somebody in like 10 years.
Right.
I've worked for myself since I was like 23, I think. So there was nothing there, so no unemployment. Then they had the SBA loan opportunities, right? So I applied for that, but they were like, well, you don't have a business, because I sold the business in 2018, so I didn't have a business license yet, because I was getting that started. I was getting it, I was filling out the LLC forms and stuff, getting all that stuff set up in March. And if I had just did it, though, then I could have gotten some money. But they're like, nope, sorry, you have no business, so we get nothing. So all I got was a stimulus check and 2 months left money of my money that I had left for my store. And I'm like, great, what do I do? Meanwhile, I wasn't working for, her name's Luria, and then David. Those two people, they had, it's a long story, but she was filing bankruptcy because live streaming was dead. That's her company, is how it's called Live Stream Pros. They teach people how to live stream. It wasn't a hot topic anymore. It was a dying trend.
Right.
And so she was getting ready to file for bankruptcy. She started that in February. I think it was going to be official in like April of 2020. Well, in March, right, of 2020, we went into lockdown. Every freaking person on the planet went to Google and been like, how do I live stream? Because we had, how do I live stream on Zoom? How do I do this on Zoom? Blah, blah. And it just exploded her business to where now she has like 10 employees, and like it's kind of crazy. Like it just boosted her business more than she could handle so quickly. So she brought me on there for not a lot of money, barely any money at the time. Just to, hey, you need some help, sort of thing. And so I've been working with her ever since then, back on, and so that got me through COVID. And then I was in January. I'm like, I finally need to do something now. I think world's opening up again. I need to go back to what I was kind of doing. And then me being me, instead of just doing baby steps, I'm like going all in, get a studio. Right. Betting on myself again. It worked out last time. It might not work out this time. Okay. But so, and funny thing is, March of this year. It's always March, because in March of 2013, 2014, somewhere in there, I opened my toy store. And in March of this year, I signed a lease for my studio space. So I've been getting that set up over the last few months. And yeah, just been picking up some clients here and there.
Studio space. What are you recording in there? Just whatever?
Yeah. So the idea of the space is right now is mostly my own workshop. Think of it that way. Think of a wood shop. Like let's go to the shop. I'll work, right. So I can work on my own things. The end goal is two things: a space for people to use, and also workshop classes for anyone, but a lot of the younger generations of people. Because I never really had that. I mean, I had Mr. Howard. That was it. Right? There was nothing. So I want to be able to offer it up to anyone off the street, pretty much, to be able to use a studio space and learn how to do it. Like teach people how to use a camera, how to use, how to do a podcast, stuff like that. So I have vast knowledge in all this. I've worked with a lot of YouTubers over the years, like a lot of big timers, multi-million subscriber YouTube channels. Been part of large events, that teach other creators and things, and so like I want to do that, but not to that level. I want to focus. I don't really care about, because they're about the money. I honestly don't really give a shit about money. That's kind of crazy. I own a business and everything. I'm more about wanting to help people. Right. That's why the business that this one, Create Impact, the business is called, is built the way it is. It's not built to for me to be a gajillionaire. It's built to help small businesses succeed. Otherwise, you hire, let's say you're a small business, let's say, and you want to hire a creator. I need a video to advertise.
So I do real estate.
It'll cost you $1,000 minimum to have someone come shoot a video for you. Right. And that's one time. And they hand it to you, and then what? That's it, right? They leave. Right?
Do they edit it and all that other shit too?
Oh, yeah, they edit it. Well, it depends. Sometimes they don't.
Whoa.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's...
$1,000? Fuck that.
Yeah. Right? I mean, $1,000 you're probably getting it edited. Okay. But there's still people I know that will show up, talk hype. Yeah, I got this big camera. This is what you're paying for, and it's still $1,000. Here's the raw footage. Buy. But realistically, you're probably at least getting an edited video, and then they're gone. And then you like, cool, I need another one next week. I'm gonna need a couple more. Well, you're looking at thousands of dollars for no necessarily return on your investment type of thing. So my business is like, hey, what if you paid $1,000, right? Maybe even less. One time, right, for 3 months, and you get 6, 7, whatever things, maybe videos, photos, brainstorming, and plus education and access to a studio for the same price. So that's what I do in building now, and I know it's very pissed off with a lot of people that in my field, and I kind of like that because we live in a technologically advanced age, right? Right. You can't use that line anymore. Oh, this equipment's so expensive. That's what you're paying for. Sure, equipment is expensive. Don't get me wrong. Cameras cost thousands of dollars.
Right.
But you buy a camera off a shelf for $500 right now, and this camera is a kick-ass camera. You travel back in time 5 years ago, like this thing would have been like a $5,000-$6,000 camera. Like it's a good 4K. It's crazy. You can buy that cheap of a camera and get crazy great results. So there's reasons to buy high-end cameras and really, really expensive ones for sure. But a lot of times nowadays, especially if you're just like a wedding photographer or even a wedding videographer on the low to medium end, not the crazy end. There's some wild ones out there. But you can't really, it's kind of a preference, and you're choosing to say that now. You're choosing what like equipment to buy. It doesn't really work anymore. So I'm being like, no, stop that garbage. It doesn't cost that much anymore. To an extent, of course.
Right.
There's still the knowledge and experience that you're paying for from a creative photographer or photographer.
Not to mention like you're gonna have to what equipment you even need.
Right. That too.
Like I mean you're gonna record a video. I would think you probably need a video camera.
Right.
Like that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing a podcast. I have a fucking microphone and a laptop. Mm-hmm. Like I know there's like this big box I could plug in a microphone for each person, and we can each have headphones, and like I don't know how to fucking do that, so I'm running it off one microphone, and we're all just yelling at it.
Yeah,
like
that's this perfect example of like if you want to do something, just do it.
Yeah,
there's so many people I know in this industry that I'm in, or I mean even people like yourselves. Right. You're actually doing it, which is really fucking cool, but they won't like do it until it's perfect. Like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, that logic. I was that way in the beginning. I'm going to learn, and then I'll do it once I know it all. Well, that's impossible. You can't. And plus, it'll always suck the first time you start.
Yeah.
It'll always be horrible, no matter how much you know. It will be bad. Yeah. And then the next time you do it, it'll still suck, but just slightly less.
Yep. That's the way everything goes. Yeah.
Even if you know what to do. So it's just you just got to do it. But so that's always a pet peeve when I talk to people. I know so many people, they're always in the testing phase or the prepping stage, and for years they're this way. I got the new computer. Oh, I just got the brand new Sony A7S, blah blah blah, all these new cameras or whatever. I'm like, what have you made? Like, why do you need to keep buying the newest and greatest stuff if you've never made anything? I know this is kind of a side tangent from what I was just talking about, but
no, it's good. It really is. I mean, people need to stop talking so much and just fucking do it.
Like, yeah. You look at my stuff. Whoo, it's terrible. But this is also where I think, just for personal brag to my own self, not to anybody else, but like the first thing I ever did do, it was terrible, right? It wasn't great. But the idea and concept of it was good enough that they're turning it into a freaking TV show. Yeah. The first thing I ever did was this web series called Toy Kings. Just going to people's houses, looking at their stuff, goofing off, having a good time, right? Somebody saw it all these years later, looked past all that garbage, and like, the idea is brilliant, right, to them, and forget about the technical side of it. So you can have a good idea, just start.
So now you're going to be fucking famous.
Well,
and I'm going to have a podcast with you on it.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. So they still respond to me, which is pretty cool and pretty rapidly. But I got approached in October of last year. They're like, I think it was around there in November. And they were like, hey, I want to talk to you about that. I saw you own the business, and we were starting a TV show. We would love to chat with you, maybe have you be a part of it. That went to a phone call, to a second phone call, to a Zoom call that felt like an audition. They're like, say this, say it that way. How would you say this? What's da-da-da-da? Straight up a freaking audition. And then that was the end of it. And then I followed up. They followed up immediately, and they're like, I know how productions go. Like, it's slow. It hasn't been made to series yet. They're just required to shoot a pilot. Wired Magazine has hired this other company, but Wired's been hired by some major network. That's the industry. All these chains, Wired doesn't have to touch it. It's just their name. They're just like, okay, we got millions of dollars. We're going to give it to you. Make it. Type of thing.
That's crazy.
Even though the network is also the same thing. It's like me coming to you, I need you to make this. Okay, you go to him, and then he goes to his people, and then they give it to you, and then you give it back to me, type of thing. That's the industry. But yeah, so I've talked to them a couple of times. They're in the process of filming some stuff, and they will let me know. But they also gave me the opportunity to potentially be if not on it, be a producer of it. So it'll be pretty cool if that works out.
That'd be really cool. So at least your name will be on some shit.
Potentially, they could just be like, screw that guy.
Right, they could.
Or if it doesn't go to series, though. See, I'm not part of the pilot.
Right.
So if once the pilot's done and the network likes it and they want to pick it up, then that's when I'll get to potentially be a part of it. But if it doesn't get picked up, it's just dead. So.
Well, I'm sure that's constantly happening, right?
All the time.
Yeah. Well,
that's just the
cool,
world.
Though.
Yeah, it is. And it's just cool, just even if it doesn't make it, I'm like, hey, I was onto something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
Well, that also doesn't mean you weren't onto something. That's still a fucking cool series. I saw one of your things where you're over there interviewing somebody about their toy collection, and it was cool. You know, it was like a little. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the whole fucking thing.
That's fine.
But I thought it was cool you were out there fucking doing it.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Yeah, it's terrible. Me and my friend, we got together.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. You watch it? I mean, I like it just for nostalgia. I'm like, I remember those days. Look at that. Look at little me. I'm terrible on camera. I never was meant to be on camera. I was always a behind the guy, but a behind the scenes guy. But I didn't know anyone to be in front of the camera, so there I am. And but yeah, looking back on it, I'm like, man, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
But you don't ever feel it that way. So like, so I always tell people too, though, like I just said, if you want to do something, just do it. It'll suck. Get over it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Well, I do a lot of sales calls, and nobody understands why I say this all the time, but your first call sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Every fucking day. Mm-hmm. Every day that you make your phone calls, your first call is going to suck. And then you start getting your tongue working. And you start
your rhythm.
Yeah, you start really getting better every time. And I mean, I'm definitely better at my first call than I was 10 years ago, or like 3-4 years ago. You know what I mean? It's not as shitty as it was, but it's still going to suck. It's still going to be your first call.
Sure.
You still got to make it though, man. And it's pretty nuts to see all the shit you've been through.
I've done a lot.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time, I'll say. Because like literally yesterday, I was thinking of like just my past like employment stuff, jobs I've done. Like I've been so many different things. I've been called a chameleon. I always thought that's weird, but no, actually, it kind of makes sense. I was a door-to-door salesman selling Penguin windows.
Nice.
For one day.
For one day?
Yeah, I quit.
Oh, man.
Because I was told otherwise, what my job was supposed to be. But anyway. But I did that, and then I was an aircraft fueler at PDX.
Whoa.
Fueled airplanes. I was a chemist. So those kind of go together. Instead of fueling, I was testing it. I've been a retailer. I was a repo man for a week. Another thing I was lied to about. Okay. About getting hired on. I've been a deliverer for UPS.
There you go.
Yeah, and then what else? A framer. I built houses. I went to school for that. I went to the skill center.
Right.
Yeah.
I went
construction
there for a little bit too. Yeah.
Did the construction program.
Summer program.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got stuck in the auto program when I went to skill center.
Wow.
I got kicked out of that too pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, probably right in your mouth.
A lot of that, and then I. What did I do? I knocked over not the security guard. I knocked him over, and he slipped on my skateboard and ate shit.
Oh.
Because he was taking my skateboard from... You remember you weren't allowed to, like, either walk onto campus... I don't know if you guys were or not, but Evergreen School District, which is where I was going at the time...
Yeah,
you weren't allowed to walk onto campus or drive. Or anything. Like, you can't walk onto campus. You had to take a bus. Because a girl had died
I don't think we had
with
that.
her friends in the car. Yeah, so Evergreen School District did. And so
Wow.
they would not allow us. So I had to work. I just had a fucking kid.
That makes sense because at skill center they wouldn't let us walk on.
Yeah,
And that's in the Evergreen School District area.
Yeah, so they don't allow walk-ins. You have to take the bus there
or drive.
But I had to. I was working at Subway. It was one of my first fucking jobs. I had a kid. You know what I mean? Or my girlfriend was pregnant, right? So like, I need to work. I can't make it to work on time taking the bus home. So I drove. And then I would like walk onto campus. So I'd bring like a skateboard or whatever the fuck to get onto campus quicker. And he tried to like take me to the principal, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude! I'm out of here. Like you can just suck it." And then he grabbed my skateboard and pulled it away from me, and so I shoved him. But my when he pulled it, it was behind him, and so he stepped on it and fucking ate it. And then they expelled me immediately for attacking the security guard. I'm like, he took my skateboard, and then when I pushed him off me, he ate shit on it, and I'm in trouble, but I didn't care at that time, so I was done. I hated auto class. I fucking still don't like working on cars. I only did it because I had to go to the skill center. I got expelled from Mountain View, too. I was still in Evergreen School District, and so I had to go to Skill Center to be in school because I was still 17, and yeah.
Wow.
And then I got expelled from there, and then I just stopped. I didn't want to go my GED.
I didn't want to do Skill Center. My parents made me go.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be a plumber like your dad.
You could be do trade work.
Yeah.
I'd have been cool building
here's
houses.
Well, no, he was plumber, like working on high rises and doing all that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go do film. I want to make movies. I want
Right.
to do that sort of stuff. And then, oh, you can't do that. We're gonna do it. Here's the crazy stuff about the Indian. How I didn't become a plumber.
Yeah.
Remember D Young?
D.
He was the counselor for
Yeah.
for us for our class.
Right.
Senior year rolls around, right? And then I don't know, like April, March maybe, he posted the on track people that were about to graduate.
Yeah.
And every year it's like here's like, you know, the clip of paper you look up and you cycle through the names. One piece of paper, half full of students.
Wow.
Out of hundreds of students, there was only like 20 people
Who were going to graduate?
Yeah, on track.
On track.
Right? Okay, we're like, everyone's freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? So, I just happened to see him when he was hanging it, and I asked him, like, well, I'm not on here. Like, what's going on? He loved me, right? He loved me. He pulled me out of class all randomly just to chat. He's like, what's going on, Chris? How's football going? How's this? You know, asking all this stuff all the time. And so he's looking up and he's like, oh, so you don't have a math credit, required math credit, not math credit, history credit, the history credit. I'm like, from when? It's like sophomore year. I'm like, looking back, I didn't say anything at the time to his face, but what happened was he pulled me out of class sophomore year and was talking about my wants and hopes and dreams of life. And I told him, like, yeah, I really want to get in Mr. Howard's class and do video production. That's like my passion. He's like, I'll get you into that class.
Oh, shit.
So if you go talk to Mr. Howard right now, and if he says you can enter his class next semester, I'll put you in there. I'm like, okay. So I went down, talked to Mr. Howard. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, so I went back. He's like, sure. Pulls me out of the history class.
Oh, man.
And puts me in video productions. And I'm like, this is great. So flash forward senior year, I don't have the rest of the half the credit for the second semester for history. So I went and told my mom, and my mom went in fucking livid. We called my mom Gestapo mom growing up because she would fuck shit up and get to the bottom of stuff. And then the next day after that, there was hundreds of parents at the school lined up.
Whoa.
Because of my mom.
Oh,
and waiting to figure out why their kid not doing it. He did it to a lot of people, just mess with their schedules. And from like freshman year, sophomore year, and so now they don't have the requirement credits. And I can't remember how many you needed to graduate, like 23 or something, 22. I had like 28 credits, maybe more, because I did a lot of like horticulture classes, and they gave you extra credits, and I did some other things for extra credits, but it didn't matter because you had to have the mandatory ones. And so I thought this was amazing. Actually, this is actually a really good thing because I had to do Skills Center for half the day, and then the second half of the day was at the school. And I had my English class, and then the other two classes were just video productions my senior year. Yeah. I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm going to have to get pulled out of Skills Center because I have to take, you know, the mandatory English class, and then it couldn't fit me in the afternoon for history credit, so it had to be in the morning. I'm like, great, they're going to pull me out of Skills Center, and I'm going to do a history class, and I'm just going to do video productions all day until one English class. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be so cool. And then they're like, no, Skill Center has a special thing that you can do makeup classes there. And I'm like, no, please no. But I did. I had to. My parents would not let me drop Skill Center, and I had to do once a week for 5 days and 3 hours. Once a week. History class. They just hand me a book, and they're like, here you go. Read this textbook. Here's your paperwork, big old book, like, go through step 1 through, and it was just a generic class. So I was doing history, someone was doing math, someone else was doing science, and I had barely I got like a D, I think, just to pass. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, but I got it, graduated, right? Here's the funny thing: I technically didn't graduate. I did. I got my diploma, everything, walked, all that good stuff. Yeah. My mom drove me down to the Union for the local 290 to be a plumber like my dad. I'm like, I hate this. I had my parents were making me, right? So I go in there, fill out all the stuff, hand it all in. I get rejected because I don't have an Algebra 1 requirement high school credit. Because D-Young pulled me out of a math class as well. And this one snuck by the radar. And I technically didn't graduate in the sense.
Wow.
Even though I did.
That's crazy.
And so I got rejected from the union. I'm like, yes. And then they're like, no, you have to go. You're going to go make this up at Clark. I'm like, are you going to pay for it? And they're like, no. I'm like, then I'm not going to do it. Because they also wouldn't. This is my parents. I love my parents. They're great. They meant well. But the Skills Center, the construction one, or any of the classes, you got college credit by going there. But this construction program had the most. You got, if you did both years, you got 72, 73 credits, which is like you only need a quarter maybe to get your bachelor's degree at that point. At Clark. But all you had to do was pay $20 each year for filing to get these credits. Parents wouldn't even give me that. They're like, we don't need that. We didn't do that. You want to be a plumber. I'm like, yeah, but $40 is like equivalent to like the amount of credits you're getting. Was like $60,000 or some crazy thing like that at the time. I could be more now, right. But yeah, they wouldn't do it. And then if you did file it the first year,
you couldn't do it the second year.
You couldn't do the second year. Yeah. But then enough people, I guess, spoke up about it, and they're like, okay, we'll honor it one more time. So previous year, if you did it, and you just bring in your certificate of whatever, like your diploma for the first year of Skills Center, you bring that in, you bring this in, pay your filing fees, and you can get them. And so I went to my parents, I was like, look, here you go, my second chance. No, we're going to do that. What are you going to do with this? Jeez. I'm like, that's, even if I don't, what, like, I could, like, all right. And Clark had just gotten rid of their video class, too. So, like, all right, fine, I guess this isn't going to work out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're an interesting dude.
Yeah. Well, I lived on the wild side, apparently.
The wild side? Yeah.
Not really, no. But
we got to come back to that Comic-Con thing.
I was just about to bring it up, too.
Good. You saw Zoot.
It's not as epic as, like, I want to bring it up, but I did run into him. I was at Portland Comic-Con, Wizard World.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, 2015, maybe? 2014, 15? Might have been 2014. Yeah, somewhere in there. I guess it doesn't really matter the year. But I was walking around, and my parents actually went to Comic-Con, too, that year. So I met up with them, and I went with some of my friends. And I was with my mom, staying with my mom, talking to her, and I was looking over at this guy. I'm like, man, that guy looks so familiar. And she's like, yeah, he kind of does. And then it was a side profile shot. And he turns. I'm like, oh my God, that's Zucanic. So I went right up to him. I was like, hey, you probably don't remember me, but you kind of ruined my life. He's like, what are you talking about? And I told him, I'm like, you gave me this nickname in a parking lot, and he didn't remember at all. And I'm like, that name stuck until like I graduated and beyond. He was just like, no, whatever, I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That sounds about right.
Whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, I was just trying to like, hey, this is cool to see you, but he did not give two shits about me standing there trying to talk, have any sort of conversation with them, and like, yeah, whatever. And then he just kind of walked away.
Dude, I waved at him. What was it like? He pulled up next to me. I looked over, and he's got this big old WSU fucking license plate. Right? I don't know if one of his kids ended up.
He went there, I remember.
Okay.
At one point.
Well, something about that, but there's WSU all over his fucking car.
He went to the one here. What is that one called? Maybe it is WSU. Never mind.
WSU is it's
the one in
a
Vancouver.
Vancouver one.
Okay, is that one then? Right?
Yeah. So it's all over the car, and I pulled up, and I've seen him a couple times just driving around. So I pulled up next to him, I'm like, hey. And I'm like, roll down your window. He rolls down the window. I'm like, hey, it's Coach Zook. How are you? And he just looked at me and rolled his fucking window back up.
Oh my God.
And then we just like, I'm like...
You just turn back and like, all right,
okay.
Because he was cool, like, I remember when
he was really, remember he bought us fucking, like, double cheeseburgers or something?
Oh yeah, like pizza, I think, too.
Yeah.
He was cool as a coach. Man, afterwards he didn't give nothing, man.
Yeah, that sucks. He like, almost made it to the NFL and got hurt or some shit, but his brother played for the Buccaneers or some shit. He was a big fuck. He's like,
were you there?
6'5" or some shit?
Mm-hmm. He was a tall guy, yeah. Were you there when Hassert came on? Mark Hassert?
I don't think so.
He came on sophomore year, I thought. Maybe.
If he was,
really
then
cool.
I was
He played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then he blew out his knee. First play starter. He was a starter for the Raiders, and first play of his career, he blew me out.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
That's fucking lame. All right, well, yeah. That's you.
Interesting, man. That's good.
Yeah, you are an interesting dude.
Huh, I got lots of
days.
stories, man. Yeah, I got lots of stories.
You're all interesting.
I've got. I've been wanting to do a podcast about the encounters I had with customers at my store.
Oh yeah.
So I have some good ones. I've had sting operations done on me.
Really?
You thought you were doing something on, or?
Dude, that one's a long story. The short version of it is, I bought some stuff from a guy. I did my checks and balances on the guy. There's questions you ask when you buy some stuff from people. Right. It checked out.
Can we ask what stuff?
Star Wars stuff.
Okay.
Toys.
You can't just keep saying stuff and make it sound not illegal.
I bought some stuff at my toy store, which were Star Wars toys.
Right.
And then about a couple weeks later, some guy was like, "Hey, those were stolen. Those are mine. I want those back." There was some sketchiness from that guy alone.
Right.
And then he called the police, went to the news stations. It was all over the news. And I was getting death threats. I was getting all sorts of stuff because people were like, "Oh, this guy, he bought stolen property," which wasn't the case. Okay, it's such a long story.
You're good. Go
I'm
for it.
trying to skip over important things, but I ended with a sting operation at my house, which was where I had the stuff, the toys,
Right.
And I was fine. I was never charged. The cops were like, "You're just a victim. What are you talking about?" Like,
right.
After I was being treated like I was some sort of criminal, like I did buy drugs or something.
Right.
It was brutal.
It wasn't
for a
even
month.
your fault. You're buying this fucking stuff. How did you know it's stolen?
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing is, I didn't have to give it back. I didn't have to do anything. I could have told them to take a flying leap because it's toys. It's not serial number. There's no way to track it. They made a billion of these things. Just say, peace out. But I was trying to save my reputation and all that stuff. Turns out, though, more likely, actually, this is definitely what it was. His friend stole it from him. His friend owed money to a guy. This friend that stole it to me. Harry had a warrant out for his arrest, so he was trying to pay off a debt before he goes to prison or jail or whatever. Meanwhile, this is 2015, before the new Star Wars movie was coming out, a couple months before the new movies. So this guy, his name is, I'll say it, Richard. He
Sounds like a dick.
He was a major dick. He tried to steal something from me 6 months prior.
Jeez.
But he was trying to capitalize on the fact that it's Star Wars toys and the hype and the name that was coming up is a big thing for it because it was the first Star Wars movie since 2004 or something like that.
Right.
And he had it insured for astronomical amount of money, and he was just an insurance scam for about $60,000.
Wow.
But he didn't anticipate me taking the effort to get the shit back. So he was pissed at me. He called me angry, super pissed that he got 95% of it back. Because I called every single person I sold it to, and a lot of them already seen the news reportings. It was on CNN. Right. They saw it, and so they were willing to send it back. I lost thousands of dollars on this deal, thousands and thousands of dollars. Because the money that I gave the guy, which was, I can't remember how much it was about $10,000, $13,000 total worth of street value of the Star Wars collection I bought.
Wow.
Right. I paid 50% at my store for stuff, which is more than anyone.
Okay.
But I think I ended up giving them actually $4,500 for it because I didn't have $5,000. But something like that. And I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah, so I lost the $4,500 right from buying, giving it to this guy. Plus I sold it all, lost all on the fees. Plus I had it shipped back. Plus I had it all insured to be shipped because I sold most of it online. There was a few local people that I did, and they all brought it back, and I refunded their money, but I don't get back the fees and all that stuff. So it was like $8,000, maybe 6,000, 7,000, somewhere in that range of money I lost, right, on that deal, which I didn't have to do any of it. But I was trying to save reputation because Fox News actually screwed me because they reported on this because they went to this guy's house And it was because he was saying $60,000 worth of the toys were stolen, right?
Wow.
So that's a good story. That's headline news. Right. So they went out, interviewed him, and then they're like, if you have any known whereabouts of where this collection went, please contact local Vancouver PD. But they're showing a picture of my store on the news. Oh, so people are calling me up, man, you piece of shit, you death threats, and I'm never coming into your store again. And so I call up Fox News and just like yell at them until I got into the person I needed to talk to. Like, you get your ass out here and you report the actual story. So that aired, and then that helps quite a bit actually. But some of the damage is already done. But then I got this hothead piece of shit cop that was a deputy sheriff, but kept referring to himself as the sheriff, and he was a dick, major dick, caused my life living hell for a month, right? And then the end of it ends with us agreeing to meet at my store to give back the stuff, because I was keeping it at my store because I didn't know if someone was going to try and break in and steal it. It was on the news, $60,000 worth of store, right? Even though it wasn't worth that much. So I kept it at my house, and then we agreed to meet at my store. They didn't meet me at my store. They brought in about 10 undercover cop cars at my house waiting for me to show up. All swarmed in on me, guns drawn, crazy lights going off, right? Wow. For Star Wars toys. For freaking Star Wars toys. And it was like a scene out of the movies. Plus my mom was with me too. She insisted on being there because I happened to be at my parents' house visiting, and then like when I got the call from this sheriff, the deputy sheriff, right. And she wanted to go, and it took 4 officers to like keep her calm because she's just tired. Like, I'm gonna rip your fucking heads off. So they pulled her off the side. But it was like a thing out of the movies where like the mob boss, once like the his like Biff and his crew or whatever, like take the guys down, the headlights come on the car and it slowly rolls up. This is what this deputy did. He parked on this dead-end road where I live, waited till everyone had me kind of cornered, then he rolls up with papers in his hand and his gun drawn. He's like, all right, we're doing this. And I'm like, cool, man, see you at my store. And starts walking. He's like, I won't kick your fucking door down. And I'm like, is that a warrant? And he's like, no warrant. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then I'm like, fine, just come get it. Which I told them they could come get it anytime they wanted. They had to do it this way. Leaving a lot out. One guy tried to, once they're in my house, they are going through the stuff, threatened to arrest me every second that they could, because they were like, hey, I don't see this thing. Where is it? I'm gonna arrest you. Search the rest of your house for this. I'm like, that's not how it works. But there it is. I'm like, oh, well, it seems like you have a good handle on this. Could you mind helping us go through this? I was like, no. No, that's a fuck you guys. Isn't that a conflict of interest? I don't know, but then when I was standing near a cop, about as far away, like 4 feet away, and this one, his partner, is like, "Hey, you gonna shoot me?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, okay, no, you're good. I'm just really hot." And takes off his bulletproof vest, which has his gun, his badge, and everything on it, and sets it on the floor right next to my feet. And I'm like, "What is going on?" And so they go through everything, and
he wants you to pull.
I know. They were threatened to arrest me, and by the end of it, they're like, okay, well, I directly asked them, like, cool, am I under arrest? I was like, why would you think that? Like, you're listed as a victim on the police report. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house. Yeah. And so, right? And then they're sitting out in my driveway, or on the corner of my street there. Like, he called backup, like, the ones that were there, brought them back. Because they're out there just going like, oh man, I always wanted one of these when I was a kid. It was like going through it, playing with the shit, like right in front of my house. Like, what is going on? And the next day they do another like news reporting and saying, hey, the guy got his stuff back. Hey, so he's so happy. Blah 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 blah. But there's still $6,000 worth of stuff missing. I'm like, what? And then he said, then at the very end of the reporting, the anchor is like, and Richard assures us that he thanked the shop owner. Oh, right?
So he's pissed that you got his shit back.
Yeah, and then after that, he calls me super pissed, and because he lost out on easily $60,000 worth of insurance money, apparently. Yeah. If you look at the original news reporting of this guy, he's showing his stuff where like it was stolen, and I'm no thief, right? But I don't think I'm going to take the time as a thief to open boxes and then just pull like one thing out and then try and steal it and sell it, because that's what happened with him. And
why would you take the whole fucking box?
right? He had 2 Millennium Falcons, brand new, sealed in the box, right? These are all toys from the 80s, by the original stuff, 70s and 80s toys. Those are worth a lot of money, especially now. But he had 2 of them in one box. And he was showing the newspaper, like, yeah, look, they took one of my Falcons. I'm like, just one? Why would you take the time to open a box and pull? Like, that's so much effort. Why don't you just grab the freaking box and walk out?
You know there's something valuable in it.
Right. And so he had all this other stuff in this room, right? I mean, I'm no investigator, but like, the dude, when he came in to show me, he's like, yeah, this is my stuff that was stolen. He had pictures, fronts, backwards, sideways, of every single piece that was taken and nothing else. And I'm like, is this all your collection? He's like, no, I got so much more. I'm like, how do you have just the things that were stolen? Like, that you're claiming that are stolen. And he's just swiping on his phone. And also, I don't know about you, but like, you swipe through my phone to show off my like anything, it's all of a sudden going to randomly show a picture of like your dog or like your food that you ate, right? These are right in a row. And he's just swiping on his phone, like angles and everything. I'm just like, dude, what are you trying to pull on me? Like, you are trying to pull a fast one, and I didn't let him get away with it because I got his shit back, most of it. I mean, it cost me a fortune though. And then the guy that stole it was his roommate. Friend, that type of thing. He was charged. He got arrested. Then he skipped bail and stuff. But I was supposed to appear in court because he was going against the judge for this, and I was going to get restitution. I was granted restitution. I've only seen $20 of that restitution. I got a random check last year for $20. And this was in 2015.
Jeez.
Yeah, of the original amount that I'd given him. He's supposed to pay it back. But yeah, I've never. Yeah, I'll never see that. Yeah. I the only way to do it is he was obviously gotten garnished his wage because he got out of jail, and then he got a job and they pulled money. But if he moves to Oregon, I have to then get an attorney in Oregon to then go to get it. So I'm like, whatever, dude, it's gone. It'll never happen. But that's the short version, dude. There's so much more.
That's crazy.
I'll give you one little funny little teaser, a funny little one in relation to this. About 3-4 weeks later, a dude walks in, regular guy, street clothes, right? He's like, hey, my name's George. His name was George. I still have his business card. He's like, hey, my name is George. I'm with the U.S. Marshals. Oh my God, I laughed at him because I figured that cause he saw all what went down on the news. And he's like, he's the fucking U.S. Marshal. He pulls out a badge and everything. And he pulls out a wanted poster. And...
Is it you?
No, it was a guy that had sold me something yesterday.
Oh no!
I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
So this is about to happen again.
I'm like, now is what is going on? And he's like, I don't care about that. But side note though, wanted posters you see in the movies and stuff, those are real. Legitimately, those exist.
Yeah.
Wanted giant bold with reward money, $100,000 for this guy.
Damn.
$100,000. I'm like,
and you lost out on it.
And well, here's a little bit more to it. I didn't get no $100,000 though, but he had a whole binder on this dude, a little dossier, or whatever they're called. And he's like, you mind taking a look at some of this stuff? And he pulls out like this binder, starts flipping through pages, and there's like all these like fake IDs in there from this guy, right? Scans of checks because this dude was like,
well, this is U.S. Marshal. This is big time.
Yeah,
fucking.
Dude,
yeah.
It was crazy because like he was wanted for what's it called? Basically, like, writing fake checks, hot checks.
Yeah.
And I was like, hot checks? Like, I'm like, dude, no one out here uses checks. Like, yeah, I'm learning that. I've been chasing this guy for like 6 months. On the East Coast, checks are still pretty big. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And the way he was wording stuff, he's like, yeah, I've been hot on this tail. Like, I've been missing them just by like an inch every single time. I'm like, yeah, dude was here yesterday. And he's like, can I see the paperwork, the stuff that you bought from him? Like, I don't care about the items. I want to catch this guy. I'm like, all right. Pulled it out, and he's like, I'm like, this is the ID. He's like, goes through his IDs that he has on this guy. He's like, I already have this one. It's fake. I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't look fake to me, man.
He's obviously good at his shit.
Yeah, he knew what he's doing. And then he's like, oh, it's a phone number. He goes through another page, and there's just like hundreds of phone numbers. And he's like, oh, it's a new one. He's like, hey, would you mind calling that number if I get like, and if he gets on the phone, kind of like wait outside, can you get him to come in? And be like, will I get $100,000 reward? He's like, you bet your ass you'll get $100,000.
Oh,
I was like, all right. And so I call a number, but then no one answered. And he's like, all right, well, he gave me his card. Like, call me if he comes back, and then I'll be here as fast as I can.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Dang.
crazy.
One day. It was just one day.
You better start chasing his ass now.
I know. Who knows if he ever caught up to him? But he said he chased him for like 6 months. Like, that's just his job, is hunting him down.
Can you imagine being a U.S. Marshal? That's your job. Like, this guy.
Hunt him down.
This is what you're doing until it's done. Fuck that.
But he had the security
That'd be kinda cool, actually.
he had surveillance pictures and stuff. There was like slots for like flash drives. I don't know what was on the flash drives, but there was tons of flash drives in there. Wanted posters, like checks, IDs, a couple passports.
Fuck.
Yeah. Crazy.
Who is this guy he's chasing? Yeah, he's wanted for fake checks. It's really fucking
He was
007 or something.
but like the guy, the only reason I remember the guy, he showed me some crappy security footage picture. I'm like, I remember him. He was actually really cool.
Really?
Like, that's probably how he gets away with everything.
Right.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was just like a random guy. He's like, he had a couple things he probably stole from somebody that he was crashing with, and now that pieces together. But he was a really cool guy. He's like, yeah, I got a couple things. I just want to sell it. And you just want to move on. I gave him like $100.
And he was cool.
Probably got a bus ticket to get out of town.
There you go.
Probably what he did, or train. But yeah.
Did you mark those bills? So like put microchips or something on?
Yeah, if I'd known that.
Yeah.
But he was wanted, and I could have made $100,000.
That'd
Yeah,
be
you
fucking
bet.
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good times.
That's crazy, man.
All right. Well, let's kind of finish this up. You got a shout out? You want to shout anybody out?
Ooh, shout out. Let's see. Who can I shout out? Let's see. I know lots of people. I got a good buddy. He's out in Utah. Shout out to Dave Knopp. He has a fun YouTube channel, little filmmaking YouTube channel, little hacks, tips, and tricks. Cool guy.
That's cool.
He's been around for a while. He's been somebody that I've been following for 10 plus years, and then one day, randomly, he commented on one of my YouTube videos, blew my mind, and now we're best friends.
That's fucking cool.
We talk every day.
Wow.
Yeah, went out to see him a couple times. I just
In
saw him
Utah?
recently. Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him about 3 weeks ago. So I was out there for a job and happened to line up the schedules and got to meet up with him. Really cool guy.
That's fucking sweet.
Dave Knopp. His YouTube channel is Knopp Top.
Knopp Top.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. You got one? Nah?
Not this time.
No?
Mm-mm.
All right. I got Tiffany, I'm probably butchering this, Chapin. She's 47 kilograms. She set 3 world records at the 2022 IPF World Championship. Now, 47 kilograms, that's not a big person, right? But she was pulling in the...
Did she do... Was deadlift one of them?
So
Okay,
it was a
I think
powerlifting meet. Yeah.
Okay, I think I saw that. Okay.
Hold on. Let me pull her up real quick. Tiffany.
I think she did it with sumo.
Did she?
I think so.
Oh, no, I have it saved right here. Okay. So she's 47 kilogram weight class. Her squat was, we'll just do pounds, 353.9. Bench was 211.6. And then her deadlift was 374.85. So the squat and the bench were world records. And then her total of 940.4 pounds was a world record. So that's 3 world records in one fucking day. That's why she's my shout out. That is fucking awesome. That's fantastic.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's only weighing what, like maybe 100 pounds or less?
47 kilograms. I don't know how much that is. How much is that? You know?
Yeah, no.
You should know.
I should know. Kilograms?
Yeah.
What? Pounds? Where do we live in?
Kilograms to pounds. Let's go 47. He's 103 pounds.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's a tiny people.
It is a tiny person.
And she's pulling a 900 something pound total. That's pretty good.
I haven't really lifted weights since high school.
You wanna?
Not really.
We'll get you in there. We'll get you big. It'll be delicious.
I know that you go to was it
Hardcore Barbell.
yeah, I know the owners.
Craig?
Yeah, and Jennifer.
Yeah. How do you know them?
Store. I'm good friends with Jennifer.
Wow. Okay. That's cool, man. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
she was a customer at my store.
Wow. So she a bit of a nerd?
A little bit. It was mostly her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
But and her kids.
Yeah.
But she's a nerd too. She likes Star Wars big time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking awesome.
So it's like, a lot of it's like memorabilia. Then like you go and I can sell my toys to you, and then you
It
sell.
was.
Oh, it was. Right,
I sold
right.
it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But that's what it was. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, it was a buy-sell trade store.
Okay.
It was kind of sad. The new owner that took over, he wanted the name. I'm like, yeah. And cause I was awesome to see it carry on, but then once he got it, he just changed the name.
Ouch.
So it killed the name of the...
Is it still open?
And he's still there. He's not... He's very flashy. He's very showy.
Okay.
You walk in there, it's like, whoa! But he's not doing anything to try and sell it. You know? He works a full-time job at another place, and his wife works a full-time job. They make a lot of money, and the store just exists. He told me he only wanted the store because his best friend was opening a video game store. And so he wanted to have a store, too. So that's what he has. And so he has his daughter running, I guess, during the day.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And so it's just packed full and looks great, but I don't really ever hear great things about it. No, so...
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right.
But hey, it's still there. He's reaping my hard labor.
You know any dad jokes?
I had a good one. I don't remember now.
Never.
I'm like, every time you hear one, like, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's love those.
I don't got one. No dad joke.
Yeah. I got what's a pirate's favorite letter?
Oh, I know this one. It's not the R. It's
Yeah.
there's a twist to this one.
Everyone thinks it's the R,
The R.
but his first love was the C.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Yes. I'm glad it threw you for a second. Those are my
yeah.
favorites.
It took a while.
You got one?
Let's see. I gotta find one.
Attack on Titan hat. That's pretty cool.
Oh, you see that? Yeah, my friend gave it for my birthday.
Yeah? Well, I still haven't made it past the second season. Are you into anime at all?
Nah,
Nah?
not really.
No, I got
Some,
thing.
but not a lot.
Toys, but anime, but no.
Yeah, not much.
No.
My sister is big time.
Yeah, I got pretty into it after. I was Dragon Ball Z. Everyone watched that
Yeah,
shit,
oh,
right?
yeah.
But like,
I got my foot covered in Dragon Ball Z.
yeah. So now I'm like way into it.
My sister, she's big time into that stuff. She's an amazing artist too, and she cosplays and does
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
That's
On
cool.
top of that, she actually knows some of the voice actors from Dragon Ball Z. Some of her artwork is actually the stuff that they use at their booths.
Really?
And my sister's, she does like these mashups of some characters, and like the voice actors are like, "Oh, I want that. I want to use that on my table. Like, how much?" My sister's like, "You just have it. I'll send you the file."
That's fucking cool.
And it's also fun. She bought a cameo for her boyfriend, fiance, husband. They've been together like 10 years now, whatever. But a cameo from one of these voice actors, and for his birthday. And when she got it, I was there. I got to see it. It opened up and he goes, "Jen, Andrew, why are you paying for a cameo?" Like, you have my email. Why don't you just email? I love you guys. Look, I have your artwork. She has her artwork like hanging in like her house, like of my sister's artwork, like in her house. Like wasn't even like a cameo of like how it typically would be. It was just like a tour around her house and like this like a friend chatting. I'm like, why would you pay for this? It's like telling my sister this. I can't remember what actor or voice actress it was for though.
It was a female
Yeah,
for Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
She was like Bulma or some shit, or
No,
I don't know.
that's crazy.
I don't watch the show. Vegeta, I know that name. Is that one?
Yeah, that's damn, that hurts.
Goku, I know that one.
Yeah.
And then there was Cell, I know that one.
Yeah.
I think that's all the characters I know from that
Oh
show.
man, it got really good. This last Dragon Ball Super was pretty, or not Super. That was Super, right? The last competition they had.
Yeah.
Super. Well, it was fucking fantastic. I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it or not. You seem to be a little bit more into the older school stuff, but
Now this came in one of those subscription boxes. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I love it. As You Wish
Yeah.
from
Princess Bride.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I say? I thought it was to begin with.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Game of Thrones or some shit probably.
Kinda,
Anyways.
yeah. That was weird.
All right. Well, so this is Tyler Toby Townsend. Did you hear that joke?
No.
Okay.
But-
So this is Martine.
This is Martin and his dad joke. Real quick.
Okay.
Air used to be free at the gas stations. Now it's $1.50. You know why?
What?
Inflation.
Ooh.
Nice. Well, that's Martine right
Bye-bye
there.
now.
And then we got our guest.
Chris Erickson.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great stories.
Yeah, well, so look for us on all the social media, Psychotic Strength Crew podcast. And, yeah, man, I appreciate you coming. Yeah, we'll try and get you back in here for some more of those stories.
I got lots of them.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Sweet.